Baby, I'm back with another fantasy video. Yo, I love this red t-shirt. My favorite t-shirt this year. I don't know. It's just comfortable. It sits on me nice. It sits on me tight. And you guys already know what it is, man. Yo, so my head is like full, but God is gracious, God is kind. I'm trying to say, but at the end of the day, comment down below if you believe the earth is flat. Comment down below if you believe the earth is flat. And if you don't believe the earth is flat, I want you guys to tell me why you don't believe it's flat. Because if you believe in space, I'm gonna show you guys space. Let's go on Google Images. If you believe in space, I want you to tell me how they got to space. This is a fantasy video, but I just want someone to tell me how they got to space. Because what you guys are not understanding is that in the Bible, God said He created light and He separated the morning light from the evening light. So that means if the sun is in space, why is space dark? Can someone please answer me these questions? What y'all don't understand is that the sun is not as big as what they telling you is, and the moon ain't as big as what they telling you is. Another thing you don't understand is about the stars. The stars are not what they telling you it is. So all of these images are fake. None of this stuff makes sense according to my Bible. And this has nothing to do with fantasy, right? But I just need to tell you guys that the earth is flat. And I want you guys to go read your Bible and actually just finally just start searching stuff and finding the truth inside this life. Because the closer you get to the truth, the closer you get to the Messiah. The closer you are to the Messiah, then your soul is gonna be saved. Like there's no two ways about it. Like if you ain't living in truth or understanding truth, you ain't close to the Messiah. It's just that simple. And that's why God left his holy book. Because he knew that the world will create these things to take us away from him. So the more you believe in what the world is telling you, the further away you are from Adonai. God is gracious, God is kind. But let's talk about fantasy, because you know what I'm trying to say. I lost to Frankie, man. Yo, Frankie, he he pissing me off in a good way. Cause right now I feel like he only playing fantasy just to literally just get into my soul. Like just to get into my soul to bother me. And I love it. This is the first week he actually like tried. You know what I'm trying to say? Like this is the first time he actually tried. And he done it against me. He done this pickup and he picked up this boy and he dropped him 5 3-pointers on a Sunday. There's things like that. It's like, could I have done something about that? Maybe, but I use my pickups too. I guess I didn't pick up the right guy, so I don't even care about it to be honest. Malik beat up Mariano, like destroyed him. And my thing with Mariano, yeah, is when KD comes back, is he gonna be good? Yes. When KD comes back, is he gonna be scoring? Yes. Like I feel KD when KD comes back, he's gonna shoot higher percentages because when you're on a super team, this is why I like when this is what I find funny about fantasy. Everyone I play fantasy with, I realize that the guys that don't actually play basketball are better at fantasy than the guys that actually played and know fantasy basketball. Because if you watch a football match, you understand that the better the players are on the pitch, the better their pass accuracy, more skillful the match is going to be, all their numbers are inflated. You will never see, you will never hear of Ronaldo, Messi, Neymar being on the same team. You will never hear a sports commentator say that, oh, Neymar's numbers are going to go down now. You will never hear that in football. The only time you hear that is in basketball. Oh, his usage is going to be too much. I'm like, okay, but don't you think Neymar needs the football to be able to play, do what he has to do? Don't you think Messi needs the football too? But guess what? How come in football it doesn't seem to disturb it? And then people be like, oh, but it's the same, it's a different sport. No, it's common sense. It's common sense. The better players you have, the greater your output will be if you guys are performing at the level you're meant to perform. KD's numbers will relatively stay literally the same because what's going to happen is that he's receiving passes from Chris Paul, who's a great assister. He's receiving passes from Devin Booker, even Aiton. Because there's more talent around him, it means that defenses may not have the grace to double team him as much. Because there's more talent around him, he's gonna be finding himself getting easier buckets. Is this that when he went to Golden State, he barely had to touch the ball to be dropping 30 points. He even became a spot up shooter. He even played center, bro. That's how like he became he they were like, yo, KD's all team defense possibly. That's how crazy he was playing. Right? So the thing about basketball and all of these basketball geniuses is that they think that when a player trades to a team that their percentages drop and all of these things, it don't happen, bro. That's why I'm keeping CP3 because I believe that his assist numbers are gonna relatively stay the same, or he's gonna just have absurd assist numbers because he's passing the ball to KD to hit a wide open three, Devin Booker, then he's gonna feed it in the post. So Mariano, keeping KD, I think it's a good decision, man. I think it's a good decision. And guess what? Mariano don't really play. I don't know. But from what I know, I don't think Mariano really plays basketball. So it goes to show. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's the same thing with Luca and Kyrie Irving. People say it's not going to work because they both need the ball. Everyone needs the basketball, bruv. If you're gonna score a bucket, you need the basketball. There's no way you can score a basketball. You can score a bucket without touching the basketball. There's just no way. It's just like why Shaq and Kobe were fighting. Sometimes they were fighting over like, oh, I need more touches in the paint, and Kobe would be like, nah, da, 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 da. Those are two different positions, but both of them demanding the ball. Why? Because you need the ball to have an impact or a form of impact. David beat up Charlie. This was not even close. This wasn't close. Um, I don't know if Charlie's in panic mode. I don't know if he should be in panic mode. I don't know if he is. I don't know if he should be. I don't know if he wants to be. I don't know. I don't know where Charlie's head's at. I don't know where Charlie's head's at. But I'm telling you this right now. A lot of people want to play you in the playoffs, Charlie. A lot of people want to play you in the playoffs. A lot of people do. One, players are going to be resting, right? And you're not going to drop any of those players that are going to be resting, right? Two, you got one of the most injury prone teams, like in our fantasy, like the most injury prone teams. This means that your players are most likely going to be rested, right? So a lot of people actually want to play Charlie. They just they ain't really saying it. A lot of people want to play Charlie because the way David beat Charlie, um, for it to be like first, second seed matchup, this felt like a one seed versus eight seed. And the excuse, like you're saying Zion's not there, but like let's be real. David drafted Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal is actually like top 10 shooting guard in the league. Like when he playing basketball, he shouldn't be averaging lower than 25 points. So Bradley Beal basically does what Zion does in the power forward position. But Bradley Beal, in my opinion, does it more consistently because he actually plays basketball. This season, Bradley Beal hasn't actually playing basketball to the way I feel like he should be. David can agree on that. So the excuse of Zion not being there, Bradley Beal hasn't really been being consistent too. So that excuse is nullified. It's nullified because, in my opinion, Zion Williams not gonna get you these assist numbers. You already won the blocks. You already won the steals. Zion Williams he'll get you double doubles, but he doesn't get double doubles every night. And Zion Williams isn't gonna get you close to 200 points in 1 week, and he doesn't even shoot 3 pointers. Will he affect your field goal percentage? Yes, but it's not gonna be this drastic. and his free throws aren't the greatest either. So Zion Williamson, if we put him in this matchup, at the end of the day, the numbers are going to be relatively similar. They're going to be similar. They're going to be similar. And the thing is, David doesn't care about the regular season, but he had to just let you know that, bro, I whooped your ass. I destroyed you. He had to let you know. He had to let you know because at the end of the day, like if you add Lion William to this equation, okay, let's say you hit the 600 in the points, but at the end of the day, he's not getting you 200 points in a week. No one's getting 200 points in a week. At most, he's gonna get you two double doubles in a week, depending on how he's playing. Blocks, you already won the blocks, you already won the steals. He ain't getting you double double and assists. Rebounds, you already won. He ain't shooting you no threes, so if I'm Charlie, I'm looking at my team and I'm just like, yo. Because with Anthony Davis and the Lakers, you can't expect Anthony Davis to go on that crazy one he did back then. If you're banking on that form, I don't think it's possible. Because look at Davis' team with Sabonis and Jokic. Jokic and Sabonis both went on crazy runs. But guess what? They both kind of came back to earth a little bit. But they're still playing great. So you can't bank on that to be the saving grace. So I don't know what's gonna happen with Charlie's team, but does he beat a lot of teams? Yeah, like obviously he beats a lot of teams. That's not what I'm saying. Obviously he beats a lot of teams, right? But I'm talking about him versus David. I'm talking about him potentially being in the finals, playing against a David. Will it be competitive? So I'm not talking about him in that other side. I'm talking about, okay, he's projected to make the finals. If this is your finals matchup against David, I think David will be happy to see you in the finals. That's just my opinion, though. Larry versus Cornelius. This was actually I actually didn't even see it, but it wasn't too far off. 10 assists, 2 blocks. You know what I mean? And that swings it. 10 assists, 2 blocks, and then I think, yeah, even 5 3 pointers. But yeah, Daniel destroyed Glory, and then Chris does what Chris does. You know what I'm trying to say. And then this week's matchups, is this thing loading? Yeah, it is. I'm playing against Glory. Dang, I already have 8 double doubles. Is that real? I mean, it's Thursday, but still, I'm playing against Glory, but I'm quite comfortable. I think this week is 2 weeks. Um, Mariano versus Charlie. If I'm Mariano, I'm waiting for KD to come back. I'm calm. I'm calm. This is 2 weeks, my guys. This is 2 weeks. I'm waiting for KD to come back. If I'm Mariano, I'm calm. I'm calm. I feel like the assist numbers are only like 20 something. The steals is far fetched. Blocks is far fetched. Double doubles, I don't see you winning. Points, you can come back if a KD comes back, but I'm waiting for KD to come back, see if I can make it competitive. Um, I do have David projected to win this matchup. Frankie's just a troll, but Devin Booker's come back. SGA's playing out of his mind. And yeah, I think what Larry's doing, he's doing that. Larry got his team good, and now he's not doing anything again. So um, I want to see how it pans out. I want to see if his team is really that good enough for him to just not actually be doing anything like he's doing, or if he actually needs to be doing pickups. This is quite surprising, but it's still very tight. I feel like Chris's team has been underperforming, but what? It's literally 1 block. They're tied on steals. It's literally 5 assists, 10 rebounds. Like the 3 pointers Daniel definitely has. This field goal percentage is outrageous. Like it's absolutely outrageous. I don't see it remaining that high. Like I don't think anyone's had that high of a field goal percentage to end the week. But if it happens, that's crazy. Um, Daniel really changed his team and his team metrics a lot. This matchup right here, um, I don't know, man. Because Damian Lillard can just wake up and just choose violence, and then you don't know, man. But like at the end of the day, like I want to see the standings. I want to see the standings. So I'm in third. I like being here. Daniel's in fourth. I just hope Chris beats him so that I can have some more breathing room. I don't know why Daniel's breathing down my neck so hard. Mariano is right down here, fifth. Unfortunately, I gave Frankie a win. Unfortunately, but it is what it is. And right here. So David and Chris have the same win percentage. This is quite interesting. Because now I want to see the playoff bracket. David and Chris have the same win percentage. So I'm gonna be watching Chris. Okay, good. So this is what I want. How it is what I want. David and Chris have the same playoff bracket, and whew, right now possible playoff matchups. Right. So how much weeks do we have left? Let's look at the scorecard. So right now, Charlie places Daniel first. It was speaking today. If they were gonna play each other today, wait. Let's see if they play each other like before the playoffs. So we have one, two, three matchups left after this. Because this matchup's for 2 weeks, right? So then I want to see if oh dang! So after Daniel, Chris come play me. I'm trying to say the Walker Derby, and then oh. Whew. This is the thing. I want to beat Chris because I want David to be number one seed. So I want to beat Chris so that I can stay over on my side. He can stay over on his side. Oh, and then after Chris, I go on my yearly um, Ghana must go conquest. You know what I'm trying to say? Pilgrimage. And I do what I got to do. This matchup right here. So my predictions is if Frankie like continues to win, I think he's gonna make playoffs. So this right here is gonna be a hell of a matchup because this is a potential first round matchup. So this right here is gonna be a hell of a matchup because this right here is gonna be basically 1 week before playoffs, and you get to see. Ooh, dang. So yeah, so Charlie gets to play Daniel right before the playoffs. So he gets to get all the data he needs, and then he plays me. Now I'm trying to say I end the year collecting my taxes from Ghana. There's nothing better than that, my guys. I end the year collecting taxes from Ghana. There's nothing better than that. God is gracious, God is kind. That's how I say it. So it's like, how do I say this? How do I say this? So right now, today, I don't trust Zion Williamson, but London is red versus Mariano. I don't see Mariano beating Chris. I do not. So I have Chris going forward. King Azuri versus Vancouver Grizzlies. Honestly speaking, I have to go with Daniel. I have to. And the thing is just that it's just the team management for me. It's the team management, and it's like Charlie has Jimmy Butler, Anthony Davis, and Zion Williamson, and those are three big guys. And if I feel like in playoffs, if one or two of them sit one game, and the way Daniel is quick with his pickups, if Charlie ain't quick with it and he's not proactive, I don't see it, man. I don't see it. I don't see how he can beat that, especially Daniel's new team. Daniel's new team has a lot of big men and he has a lot of 3 point scorers. A lot. So he shoots efficiently from the field goal and free throws. Right? I've seen it. I've seen it last week too. And the thing is that it's gonna be tight. Me versus Larry, man. I feel like the odds are in Larry's favor. The odds are in Larry's favor, and I know what I need to do to win this matchup, and it's gonna be bloody tight. It's gonna be tight. It's gonna be tight. SGA versus David. Like, if I'm being 10 toes, like I can't doubt David because at the end of the day, like David's been solid. He's only lost what three times, bro. Like, let's be real. He's lost three times, right? And every year he makes it. He does his thing in the playoffs. Like every single year he does his thing. So for Frankie to beat David, Frankie just needs a healthy team. He needs good acquisitions. But at the end of the day, I have to give it to David because David won last year, right? So at the end of the day, David's really good at fantasy. It's just that the trades he makes, yeah. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, everyone has different trade strategies, right? But the trades David makes, it's like, I'm like, how did you figure out how to package this? And I'm just like, who, like, this is my thing. I'm just like, why are you even accepting? Like, for me personally, I'm just like, bro, but they, like, and he does it, and I realize the pattern that he does it in, and it's like, everyone has their strategy, and at the end of the day, like his strategy works for him in his way, right? But I can't count David out. So second round, I have predicted Daniel versus Chris, and I feel like it's gonna be a slugfest. Daniel versus Chris. No one wants to play Daniel. That's the thing. No one wants to play Daniel. He's a veteran. Not trying to say he don't have a ring in fantasy yet, but he's a vet. But Chris's team is well oiled, man. And I think Chris's team just wins because he's got Joel Embiid, bro. He's got Joel Embiid, and Daniel's got Donovan Mitchell, but he ain't got a Joel Embiid. And I feel like that's the difference. He doesn't have a Joel Embiid. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, Fred Van Vliet can hit the threes like Donovan Mitchell. Don't get me wrong. And I just feel like lay it down in the stretch of the season. Um, That's why I want to see how that matchup comes out now because it's tight. I still think Chris will win. And I feel like that will give us a strong talent because I don't think DeRozan's been playing much basketball. And I don't think DeRozan's played much basketball since Chris got him. And Chris will still be winning. So that's what I'm trying to say. And it's like, it will be tight. But I just feel like Chris's team, because it's so well oiled, is just going to push through. Um, David, I have advancing. If he doesn't, that's gonna be a shock. So David versus Larry. Larry beat him last time, right? And I think the logic here is that Antetokounmpo rests a lot at the end of the season. So um, factoring that in, Antetokounmpo will possibly miss like one game or two games in a week, and it's like I don't know. I don't know if Larry will use acquisitions. That's the thing about Larry. I don't know if he will use the acquisitions to beat David. Um, I don't know where David's head is at, so I don't know if he would prefer to play me or prefer to play against Larry. I think when David sees Larry's team, I think Larry's team is better at rebounds than mine and scoring points. But I think the thing about me is that I do use acquisitions and I'm very active. You know what I'm trying to say? So with David, I don't know. I think his team is really good. I do believe that Bradley Bill is going to start playing basketball. I saw signs of it last week. I do believe he's going to be playing much better, which makes David's teams better. He has Halliburton, Bam, Jokic, and Sabonis. Absolutely insane. Insane. I don't know why Malik did that, but um, I think this is just going to be crazy, man. It's gonna be crazy. It's literally just gonna bank on how oiled your team is in every category. That's it. And it could literally just like I feel like whether David plays me or Larry, I don't see it being a blowout. I don't see it being a blowout. I think it will be tight and competitive. Um I do see Chris beating Daniel, and honestly from this side, I don't really know. Cause like David is really good, former champion. Larry has been to a finals before, right? Um, Larry's team is good right now. Um, but I'm fighting, bro. Beast of no nation. Now I'm trying to say I'm fighting. So Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. But right now, the thing is like Chris is projected to go to the finals, and Chris has that fear. Like no one wants to play against Chris because his team is like it's crazy, and because he has that fear, it messes with you psychologically. And you guys are like, what does psychological have to do with fantasy? It does. Because it makes you double think what you want to pick up. Makes you double think if you should make trades and da 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 da. So it's gonna be really interesting. We still have about a month left till playoffs. Do I think Malice is gonna make playoffs anymore? With the way Frankie's going, right? I feel like if we compare their last fixtures, right? So right now, Frankie's playing against Larry, right? And he's actually winning, right? And then Malik's playing against Edmonton North. So let's say they both win, the records stay the same, right? Then the 19th, Frankie versus David, and then I think Malik loses to Daniel. Let's say they both lose this, right? So the records are still the same, right? So Frankie's still ahead of him. And then I have Frankie beating Mariano, and I have to beat Ghana must go. It's that simple, right? So Frankie has one up on Malik, and then basically that's it. So basically, when Malik played against me, I yo, I don't want to say it like this, but man, it's destiny. Like if he comes to me as I said everything, his destiny is inside my hands. It's just because Frankie played against Daniel O lost, and Malik played against Larry lost. So Malik's destiny is essentially in my hands. So it's like talk to me nicely, baby. But transaction counter. I wanna look at this, right? Because last time we looked at this, it's like bang, right? So Daniel still has me and Daniel still have the most trades. Malik is right there. Acquisitions 57, 81, 80. And the reason why I'm looking at this is because I want to show you guys something, right? So I started I think 0 and 3, 0 and 4, whatever. I had 55, 57 acquisitions. Daniel has 81, right? Charlie has 61, which is really high. Frankie has low, and Larry has low, right? Um, I feel like in the playoffs, right? Our what people don't understand is in our fantasy, our playoffs are very late. So a lot of no names become names. So if you don't use your waiver wire pickups, a lot of those names that you don't know become names, and you gotta pick them up. You're gonna be like, "Who's this guy?" You gotta pick him up because they are now names, right? But a lot of people don't do that, and I feel like that's why a lot of people get surprised inside our fantasy, right? So for once, I'm actually gonna talk about my team, and actually, this guy has not made a debut, or he did make a debut. So I'm gonna talk about my team because it's like I never really talk about my team, right? So right now, I picked up this random guy, Malachi. Herbert Jones, I picked him up because um, he gets me steals, and I feel like later in my experience inside the playoffs, the steal category or the block category, you need to win it. So if I pick up a guy that consistently can get me steals, one of the better guys in fantasy, and he shoots efficiently from the field, which means that he helps my percentages and he gets me the defensive numbers, even though he doesn't really score much. I'm making that sacrifice. I am. Because I'd rather have a guy that he doesn't score a lot, but he has high percentages and gets me steals than picking up a guy that's going to lower my percentages, right? Dorian Finney Smith, he is looking like a drop, and I'm probably going to drop him. The only reason why I haven't dropped him, I'm not saying this to be rude, is because of my matchup, right? The only reason I haven't dropped him is because of my matchup. But I'm actually going to look to drop Dorian Finney Smith. I just don't think he Right now, the Brooklyn Nets are loaded with a lot of players, and I just don't think all of these guys are just going to be producing a lot of numbers. I think they're going to go on spurts where they do produce high numbers, but I just feel like there's just too much of them, right? Ben Simmons, I am actually going to drop him. He's just not doing anything for my team. Um, I am being reluctant in dropping him, but I do want to drop him because at the end of the day, like if I'm being 10 toes, like my team would be performing a lot better if I picked up someone else on the waiver wire that actually wants to play basketball for a Beast of No Nation. You know what I mean? And essentially, like I could pick up a guy like Trey Murphy, maybe not. But I could pick up a guy like Trey Murphy. He gets 12, 17, and his percentages aren't bad. And I was trying to say, um, even Kevin Looney, bro. Like Kevin Looney actually does me well. Like whenever I pick him up, like look what he's doing. Like for me, like these are solid numbers, bro. I don't know, like so it's like let me get my Kevin back, man. I miss Kevin, bro, because it's like who am I gonna drop? This is the thing. Let me just drop Dorian, man, because like this is the thing, man. This is why some people win and some people lose because it's like you can't have an emotional attachment to these guys. You just can't have an emotional attachment to these guys. Like once you start forming these useless emotional connections with guys that don't even know you, that's how you start losing. So it's like this is what you have to do. You just gotta scroll through this thing, man. You just gotta scroll through it. Like Roy Hachimura, like this is another problem. Like I don't think he's gonna be producing big numbers because the Lakers have so much players right now. Josh Jackson, I believe that you can pick him up as a streamer. Like, look at these steal numbers, man. This is what I'm trying to say. Guys like this are important in the playoffs. Like, they're important in the playoffs, man. I don't know when these guys are playing next, but I possibly might pick him up. Because having too much guys on the same team, I believe is really, really bad. It's really, really bad. But Patrick Williams, I've been looking at this guy. I don't know why he is even available. He's a very good steal guy, and I feel like he's an excellent streamer. I feel like Patrick Williams is an excellent streamer, but I don't want to be on this too much because I can spend too much time on it. But anyways, these are the numbers for this week. At the end of the day, it's like it's relatively the same. Like the same people are like I'm proud of myself, man, because my team was really really bad, but now like I have one, two, three, four, five, six green, and I've consistently been getting greens, man, and I'm proud of Daniel too, bro, because it's like I feel like our teams went through some hardships, you know what I mean? And David, I'm proud of David too. I'm proud of everyone that's in the green, yo. I just want to say I'm proud of you, man, because at the end of the day, like it's not easy. Like it's easy, but it's not. Because for me, fantasy, I always reference it to manhood. I do, and you guys would be like, "What does it have to do with manhood?" Because as a man, you have to just make decisions. You have to be a decision maker. Like, I'm disappointed in you, Larry. Like, come on, man. Like, you have an excellent team. You were doing excellent, and then you just left it alone. But yeah, let me get back to my point. Fantasy is a decision making thing. You have to make decisions and make your mind up. And once you have your vision for your team and you've made your mind up, you don't care about anyone's opinion. That's fantasy is probably one of it's not an ego showing, but it's like my system against your system. That's how I see it. Other people see it differently. So for me, I love it. Oof! I love it when people are able to see that, yo, this is not working. Let me change it up. And that's why I love Daniel in fantasy. Absolutely, I study Daniel in fantasy because I see like I can visually see and feel his energy. Like yo, this is not working. Let me change it. I love Chris in fantasy too. Absolute stoicism. I love it. I love it because with Chris, it's like there's different strategies in fantasy. I believe like Daniel and Chris are on different ends. Chris is a great at drafting. Daniel's really good at drafting, but he likes to build. Like Daniel's a bricker. He's a Bob the Builder. He likes to like break things apart and build. Chris likes to draft something, remain in the status quo, and keep the efficiency running. Daniel wants to create his own efficiency, and that's what I love to see. And I learn so much. I learn. You gotta like, yeah, I'm learning. And David too. I feel like David is almost right in the middle, in a sense where it's like he's good at drafting, but he also knows how to build too, right? But the thing is that if you look at the team David drafted and you look at the team he has now, I feel like it's not very different, but it's extremely different. But it's not different. That's why I have him in the middle. Because he kind of dismantled like Daniel, but he also drafted well like Chris. So it's both of them. That's why I have him in the middle. And he's been consistently good. You know what I'm trying to say? If I would put Charlie on it, I'll put Charlie more on this spectrum. Meaning that Charlie likes to draft. I feel like Charlie does draft good. That's why he's had one of the best teams. I feel like he does draft good. I feel like he does. I feel like he does. I feel like if anything, Charlie's biggest issue is I feel like he just trusts his players too much. Like he's drafted Zion 2 years in a row, and I feel like once he just tells Zion to leave him alone, he's fine. That's it. I don't actually blame like that's my thing. Is like I'm not saying it's Charlie. I'm literally saying that because of all of this resting and all of this injury stuff, that's what has hampered his team. Like the Zion injury hampered his team. But the trade he made, I didn't really like it. But his team is still really good. You know what I mean? Um, Power rankings. David is obviously gaff of the week. Like he done his thing. Jason Tatum is crazy, man. And I've been eyeing Jason Tatum. And I'm willing to sacrifice hella pieces for Jason Tatum. And I'm announcing it right now. I'm gonna be sending trades for Jason Tatum. I have to. I have to send trades for Jason. If I want to win this championship, I have to send trades for Jason Tatum. You know what I mean? So here's the top three. Woo! Yo! I should have got to this earlier, my guys. Chris, presented by Chris. I need to get Chris back on the show. I'm gonna text Chris and be like, when is he free? We need to get back on the show because last 4 weeks I need to get Chris back on. I need to get David back on. I want to even try and get Daniel back. I want to get Daniel on. Daniel hasn't been on in a minute. I need to get them back on because Chris dropped Charlie out of the top three, bro. And yo, for Chris to do this to Charlie, that's deep, bro. And then he got me and Daniel both in fifth. You know, because I lost to such a low seed. Dang. Chris, he raised Frankie, but he still put Frankie in the blue. And then, dang, now Larry's in the top three. Yo, Chris is sending shots right now. This is crazy. Um, I see why, but I don't. Charlie still has a better record than Larry, but I guess the fact that he lost so bad to David, and then the fact I lost, but dang, bro. Now I have a new agenda. I'm trying to get above Frank. I'm Charlie, man. I'm trying to get above Charlie, man. But this is a big thing right here. This is big. This is big. And I feel like this is it. I feel like the line has been drawn, man. The fact that he put 5-5 then jumped to 7, the line has been drawn. If I'm being 10 toes, I do like respectfully. I do feel like Frankie should be ahead of Malik and Mariano because he's the one in the playoff position. But yo, this is I like this, Larry. Yo, congratulations to Larry. You know what I'm trying to say? He made some good trades. The thing is, end of the season. keep stepping on it, bro. Charlie, I'm just gonna like if I'm Charlie, I know he's not gonna trade Zion, man, but just like don't draft him next year, bro. He doesn't. Zion don't like you. You like Zion, he don't like you. And yo, to Daniel, I mean, let's go, bro. Now we back side by side running this race. Let's do this, bro. But this is King Connor Walker. The earth is flat. God is gracious. God is kind. Have a lovely week. Peace.